Welcome. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Josh Kissel. Now, Josh is actually serving as the customer success and business outreach representative at Omnibond Systems. His role focuses on fostering customer relationships and driving business development initiatives within the company, specifically this time with TrafficVision. So welcome, Josh. How you doing?
Yeah, excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
So being a part of Omnibond, there are parts of the company that I don't know. I, of course, focus on Project Eureka, but you focus on TrafficVision. And so I just wanted to know, what's TrafficVision?
TrafficVision is a piece of software that helps detect anomalies on highways. So basically, the use case that I always think of is I'm driving down the highway. My tire pops and I have to pull over to the side of the roadway and pull out my spare and put it back and put on the other thing. And my spare is actually out of air too. So I'm having a lot of issues driving down the highway here, but I've stopped on the side of the road and I kind of just have to wait for this like helper truck to come, ideally, or kind of call in and have highway patrol come and help me. Instead of me doing that, or in addition to me doing that, what TrafficVision does is it's able to pick up when something like that happens, when there is a stopped vehicle on the sideway, on the side of the highway, and then alert an operator at a traffic management center and have them dispatch help before you even know that they're doing that. So the real kind of goal with it is faster incident detection, better incident detection, and basically getting people help faster and more efficiently. So a little bit deeper. So we're a piece of software, like I said, and basically we ingest video feeds from highway traffic cameras. And so you're driving on the highway, you look up and you see an 80-foot tall pole with a small little tiny camera on top of it looking at the highway. Those are all over the place on highways. Most states have over 100, over 200, typically over 500 of them just down the highway, the interstate. And then we ingest that video feed. We don't even care what camera, what make, what model, anything like that. It can be a 20-year-old analog camera with a tape, as long as it can be digitally encoded, so that we can ingest the digital video stream, and then we analyze that in real time and export these alerts. So if there's a stopped vehicle, we'll have a stopped vehicle alert pop up, and then the operator can send help. If there's a pedestrian running across the highway, that probably needs some assistance. Ideally, you don't want pedestrians on your highway. Or if you do want them there, they're for a very specific purpose, not just anyone. So that's kind of the piece of data that we're ingesting. And then in terms of output, like I said, there are these incident alerts that an operator at a traffic management center or traffic operations center can receive. And then there's also data collection going on as well. So, and to be fair, it's all anonymized. So it's not reading any license plates. It's not doing anything like that. But what it is doing is if a vehicle goes by, it says 1, and it puts a little check mark in a box in a spreadsheet. And it says 1 vehicle went by at 11:23 a.m. on this date. And so it can gather that, it can gather speed of vehicles, and then more traffic engineering kind of data. So the volume, the speed, some classifications of vehicles, whether it's a truck versus a motorcycle, and then kind of occupancy per lane. So how many vehicles are going through the lane in a minute, in an hour, etc. And that's all done just with a video feed and a very advanced software. It's kind of a dual purpose software. It helps with the now immediate, hey, we need to get this person help. And then it also assists with the planning, the data collection kind of portion of things, where someone can then, a traffic engineer can then analyze that data and then say, oh, okay, we're seeing this amount of volume, we're seeing speeds slow down every day at this time. We need to do something with that. Whether that's implementing congestion pricing, whether that's increasing or decreasing toll costs, anything like that. Or 20 years down the road, largening or widening the highway.
So capacity planning could also be a part of that. If you're seeing a steady increase, then the city planners need to go, you know what, we need some money
Exactly.
to take care of this.
Which then helps the state DOTs say, hey, we need more money because we are seeing, XYZ amount of cars. And here's the data to prove it. So we're just an additional data point that traffic engineers use to kind of build these models that then they can predict traffic. They can say, hey, this is what traffic will look like later if these trends keep happening. So in terms of stories of volume and all of that, the story I always really like to tell is the one tollway in the central part of the US. What they are striving for is to have their operators detect 40 stopped vehicles a month. Each operator, 40 a month. And typically there are some incentives with that for the operators, for the employees of, hey, I detected this amount, I get XYZ. And so they started using TrafficVision, and before, operators were trying to look at 3,000 cameras all at once. When I can't even look at our screen and my phone at the same time, they're looking at 3,000 screens all at once and trying to find a stopped vehicle. What they look at now is one screen that pops up and says, hey, there's a stopped vehicle. TrafficVision says there's a stopped vehicle on camera 73. Look at camera 73. Yep, there's a stopped vehicle. I just added to my total. I get incentives. I get a pay raise or a bonus at the end of the month for doing this. So that's kind of the one of my favorites, because the operators get to relax a little bit in their job, just because their job is so stressful. And then all sorts of other ones of just catching crazy things, catching pedestrians running across highways, catching crashes and pileups, getting help to crashes and pileups faster. One of the cool things the TrafficVision is able to do is wrong way detection. And so there was this one DOT who they were implementing TrafficVision, and they're like, hey, we keep getting a wrong way detection at the same exact time every single night at like 3 a.m. And they're like, why does this keep happening? Why does this keep happening? There shouldn't be one occurring regularly, right. You would think. And turns out it was actually one of their helper trucks, one of the highway assistance trucks, that right. It was easier to drive up the off-ramp and get to their spot that they're stationed rather than go around and park normally. And the managers handled it perfectly. They're like, hey, we keep getting this weird wrong way thing. Have you guys seen anything at this exact time every single night that you've been working? Mm-hmm. And they say, no. And guess what? The wrong way.
So it went away.
So a lot of things like that. But mostly it's giving the Department of Transportation and the tollways better, faster information about their overall system. So, they would never have known, hey, these people are driving the wrong way. Hey, we have, 500 stop vehicles instead of just 40. That type of thing.
Well, then I have to throw in there, just because you said it, you brought up VHS, so that means I can say an older one here. Have there been any of these municipalities or anything that have gone back to some of their previous footage and run it through TrafficVision to pull data, say for a grant or something like that?
Yeah. So the main one that I can remember on that one is it was a place in Canada was actually hosting a Olympic style games. It wasn't the Olympics, but it was very similar. And basically what they wanted to do was run this traffic study of volumes on their highways. And they had all this recorded video. So they said, here, analyze it for us across all of these hundreds of cameras. And the nice part is we were able to break it up into 1 hour chunks, and we're able to analyze, X amount of video in 1 hour. So it was all done in an hour, which was nice. Instead of having to replay every single video. But then they were able to, see what things were like pre-event, during event, and then post-event, to kind of do a study on how that actually worked, how it could be improved for next time.
That's really cool, because that means that even future customers of TrafficVision can go, you know what, this would have been great to have at this time. We have the video, let's feed it through and see how it goes. That's pretty cool. What unique selling points set TrafficVision apart from some of the other monitoring solutions on the market?
Yeah, definitely. So we have a few. What I like to tell people is, our biggest one is price. We're incredibly affordable. And then the kind of next one that comes into this is being able to use any and every highway traffic camera that's already there. So leveraging the systems that you already have in place to get further data is a really big push with DOTs across the country. They want to get the most bang for your buck, right? You already have these cameras out there. You might as well turn them into smart sensors, without having to replace every single one of them.
Right.
So that's a huge point as well. And then the third thing is that our longevity. So we've actually been doing this since around 2010 at this point, so almost 15 years as of this recording. In about 3 weeks, it'll be 15 years, not to date this recording. But basically, our algorithm was developed specifically for the transportation industry, and specifically for highway transportation in order to kind of focus more or mostly on that. And so over 15 years with it in a model and with a piece of software, the algorithm has been updated more and more and more specifically for those highway use cases.
All right. Well, thank you, Josh, for joining us. Thank you for giving us a little bit of information about TrafficVision, and we look forward to hearing more about Omnibond's TrafficVision in the future.